So this is an interesting one because we are going to get an area that's negative, as we can see from this diagram. This is 0, 0, and this is 2, 0. So therefore then, if you were just to simply compute on a calculator the integral of 0 to 2 of this function, which is e to the minus x minus 1 with respect to dx, you will get a negative area. Right, now the issue here is we don't want to get a negative area because we want to find the shaded area bound between the function and the axis, and area is a scalar value, so we don't want to get a negative value. So there's a very simple fix for that. Okay, what you can do is if you find an area that's negative, there's either this, you can either do the absolute value of that area at the end. Therefore then, let's say for example the area came out to be minus 4, then you could do the absolute value of that and that would become 4, right? So positive. So it seems like a simple fix. When it's an expression like this, it's sometimes a little bit more difficult if you have to do it by hand or without a calculator. So what you can do is you can do the absolute value at the very beginning, right? Because in doing so, what you can do is you can replace that expression then with if you have the absolute value of x and you knew that that value of x was going to be negative, you can just replace that with -1 times that value of x. Because now, whatever that value is in there that comes out to be negative, when we multiply it by -1, we would end up with a positive value. Right, so in this question here, if you kind of know or can see immediately that it's going to come out to be negative, you can just make that switch at the very beginning. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to say that the area of this region is still between 0 and 2, but I'm going to have -1 times by e to the minus x minus 1 dx. Now what I can do straight away is I can just times that out and tidy that up before I even start. So 0 to 2 of, now -1 times -1 will be +1 minus e to the minus x. So that's like all done before I've even started doing any integration here. Now I'm going to integrate this as I normally would do, and that would become x. This would become minus e to the minus x, but divided by the derivative of the power. Now the derivative of the power is -1, so you divide by -1, that's all going to become positive, right? And the limits on this integral, this definite integral, are going to be 2 and 0. So if I just go ahead and substitute those values in now, we're going to get 2 plus e to the -2, and then we plug 0 into this, right, will be a second, so it's subtract. Now 0 into